that we're live. There we go. We're live.
Hello.
All right. So the first part for today, because we were on one laptop and now I switched over, is this one young lady. She's I don't even know how old she is,
Mhm.
but I just found her yesterday on TikTok and she was talking about high interest. She was talking about going back to getting an adult piggy bank. Remember how we were all kids and we had our own
Oh
piggy
yeah.
bank? So she had suggested that. Um, did you hear some other things? Because I had to play
Um,
for a little bit.
well, I did hear high yield, and that was what I was going to talk about today was the high yield savings account. Um,
Yes.
I tell you what, there's nothing more important than us being able to get something back for our money.
Mhm,
A lot of times we are taught to save your money, have a little savings. But what we're not really realizing is that you are reaping 0%, 0.1%, on your savings. Long story
mhm,
short is when we have a inflation, you're not even catching up with inflation.
mm.
So we need to get a little bit wiser with our funds. The good thing is people are worried, oh, if I put it in a high yield, I'm not gonna be able to get my money. You are able to, they have what's called a money market savings where you can
Mhm.
actually use it as like a checking account. In the money market, you can put your money in and write a check or get money out whenever as needed, and you're not penalized for it. Now, a high yield savings account is a little bit different. If you put your money in, you most likely will have to pay some kind of fee to get it out, but it's usually minimal. So I mean, if you need that money, it's still another source, another means of getting your money.
The
But when
money
you can get
market,
so money market savings kind of like a checking account slash savings account, all built in one, and you can
let me get
write
my book.
checks off depending on which. Oh, okay, depending on which bank you use, they'll issue checks. And I know the old timers, like, they still like to use the checks,
I haven't
for,
seen I know I haven't seen a check in a long time, and I went to do something, and every once in a while somebody says, "You need to send us a check." I'm like, "A check?" Like my son went to go do something, and they asked him for a check. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like,
yes,
when's the last time that they had updated that form?" He said, "No, they're asking for a check." I'm like, so he had to go to the bank, drive over there, ask for um a sample check.
yeah, it's
It's
kind
not
of
like
like
anybody.
a, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a avoided check, right?
Right, right, but not like you wanna order a box of 50 checks when you're only gonna use
Right.
it once every 5
Uh-huh.
years.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
So you know what they've been saying for like decades. Well, okay, at least a decade plus that they've been trying to do away with paper. So paperless, paperless military, paperless da da da. So they are trying to do away with it, but there are still banks that actually utilize checks and checking. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, so
So
money
we had
market.
piggy banks, and
Mhm.
you said high interest.
So
So,
they
and
have a high
under the
yield
high
savings account.
interest, high yield, okay, high yield.
Hmm.
Yield.
It's YIELD. Hmm.
Yes, thank you, because I knew it. All right. And under that one, you said mutual fund. You said mutual? What would you say?
No, I
What
said
was
I said a money market savings account,
money market?
checking account,
Okay, money market.
market checking account. Yeah. So, and I'm just because I deal with like with federal credit unions. I'm just gonna say put it out there. I use like Navy Federal. I use them for my high yield. I also you can also use like say I don't know Security Federal Savings
Mhm.
Federal Credit Union. That's where you can do money markets and have checks write checks if you need it. But the money you're not penalized for taking your money out. It's just like using a regular checking or savings account. But you're actually yielding an interest on it, which is kind of exciting. So the more money you put in that bad boy, the more you're getting as far as a percentage rate. So kind of exciting. Right now you can get them anywhere from I want to say like maybe anywhere from 2.8 to maybe 4.0, maybe 4.2 if you're super blessed. So it depends on what how much you're putting in and all that good stuff. Also, everything matters, but. It doesn't matter how much you start with, just start putting a little bit of money in at a time. When my kids were younger, I would I have four children. And
Mhm.
when your money is kind of low, you have to find ways to save money for Christmas if you're actually without going into debt. I
The
don't
holidays. The
yeah,
holidays.
I'll say
Right.
that yeah, good answer. The holidays, but I don't really do that anymore.
Mhm.
But I believe so have changed slightly, about that holiday. But anyway, I would start in January saving money. And I would have a specific account to save money for the holidays. So come
Mhm.
November, October, November, I actually had the means to be able to purchase what I wanted for my children. all four of them without going, without going bankrupt.
Mhm.
I could never understand that concept. I'm not judging, but long story short is I was not going to spend what I didn't have,
Mhm.
you know.
And then
So
also, I mean, because you did very well. As you mind if I say that you were? I mean, because it was a short period of time where you were a single mom for a little bit, and
mhm,
then you
mhm,
weren't, and then yeah,
right,
right. So to
yeah,
be able to do that, even as a single mom, and you was holding everything down,
mhm,
um, and and you and I are sisters, so you didn't appear to be crumbling at the seams. You even though you really do, even though you do really well of holding everything all together. But yes, you've done very well for yourself, and hopefully
grace
we've
to God.
passed some of these things on to our children. I mean, I'm sure that they're probably still catching on
Mhm,
because of course nowadays kids are under the effect that they want to live their life and do it their own way.
mhm,
Because we as a people, we haven't had okay. As far as generational wealth. So
right,
other cultures have had years and years of generational wealth where they've seen their parents do very well. And so they might sit down and listen. Some do, maybe some don't,
mhm,
but the fact that we're on the other end of the stick right now where, you're a grandparent and I'm about to be a grandparent. Hopefully we can pass these things on and our children they're pliable enough to be able to listen to what we have to
right,
say with the
mhm,
good and the bad, the mistakes that we've made and the things that we're doing moving on, right?
yes, indeed,
So you said money market, and then there was another one you also mentioned. Was it the high yield, or are they the same or
yes,
different?
different,
That's what
but
so
it
can
works
you
in the same, it works in the same way though.
so go ahead and give me the go ahead and say it again for the people who are just coming in the room. Thank you for the 8 people that are in the room. And for the ones who said hello, we're gonna just keep it going. So give us a little bit of a breakdown, what you, in your opinion, because okay, we're gonna say also that we're not financial advisors, we're
Correct,
not any kind of gurus, we're just
right,
people who just want to get it right and
regular people trying to figure it out.
right. So go ahead and give us the difference again between the high yield and the money market.
So I could probably pull up the definition also, but I'm just speaking in my layman's terms. So for the money market checking account, um, it's pretty much like having a checking account that's actually earning money like a high yield savings account. Make sense?
Higher than 0.001 type of thing, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So to where you may get like, I don't know, $3 at the end of the year, $5 at the end of the year, you might get $325 at the end of the year.
Mm.
So money matters, and the more you put into that account, the more money you're going to receive back, at the end of the year, or when you need it. You can watch it monthly because it's a monthly accrued percentage, APR,
Okay.
or interest rate, should I say?
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's what I do. Whatever I can put in there, I put into that to high yield savings.
Mhm.
And I've been doing it for years.
Mhm.
It's not until like kind of like last year that my eyes opened. Hey, you better tell people about this thing. And instead of keeping it to yourselves. A lot of times we hoard this information,
Mhm.
not really, not intentionally, just kind of like just going about your life and trying to figure things out, right?
Mhm.
So I kind of thought maybe within the last I've been talking about it in the last 2 years, kind of like off and on, sporadically or whatever. But
It's not a stranger, that's her house. It's okay. Nobody has to call 911. Bring your also bring your phone down a little bit more. There you go. There you
okay,
go. There you
try to
go.
bring it down that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what's the word that they say now when people say I went to the store, I saw this sale, and so I'm not keeping it. Oh, they're not gatekeeping. So that's the thing that comes to
Oh
mind
yeah,
now.
so I'm not gatekeeping. Yeah, I want everybody to know. Trying to tell as many people as I can. I even tell strangers. I tell my loctician. I'm trying to whoever will listen. I'm trying to share because a lot of times people of color don't realize that there are other things we can do to enhance our financial situations. So our
Hmm.
situations need to get better, but we don't get better until we know better.
Hmm.
So that part. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
So.
and I love. I'm glad you're talking about this because for me it's like it's near and dear. You know.
Hmm.
Um. But why have something in there? Making minuscule pennies when you can actually get something that actually to make some dollars. And then have your
Hmm.
dollars multiply. So for
Hmm.
me, it's kind of exciting. And then, eventually, I'm actually also going into looking at stocks and bonds, and I have started investing in some because even if you don't know what you're doing, go to a safe spot like SoFi. I'm not being sponsored. If you want a link, I'll send you a link. Let me know. And I don't know, maybe they will give you a little friends discount, 50% or $50, I think it is, for referring someone to SoFi. But can I just tell you that they break it down into like layman's terms as far as what you're looking for, what you're trying to find
Referring
out
someone to
about.
SoFi.
But can I just tell you that they break? Hey, hear me again.
But I wanted to make sure that if somebody was in the comment section that I could go over and I could hear. So that's sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so yeah, SoFi is. I started out with Fidelity, and I had them for years, but I found it easier to comprehend going through SoFi and them actually having like little icons within your checking account and your savings account. And I do also like to diversify, my dollars. Not saying I have a whole lot, but never know. God's gonna. He said, "My what's coming is better than what's been," and I believe. But I'm preparing my mindset for for prosperity.
Amen.
Amen. So yeah, so now I'm looking into stocks and bonds. I actually have some. I'm going to move over the ones that I had into the SoFi because SoFi makes it comprehensible. And so that's what I'm trying to gain more knowledge and make it find things that are going to make it easier for me to understand what I'm doing, not just throwing money into an account. Realizing I'm not I'm not a trader. And I'm not a financial, like you said, a financial agent of any kind. So, but there are people that actually do know what they're talking about, and they say don't go to YouTube. If you don't go to YouTube and other sources, how are you going to learn? And you
Exactly.
can glean a little bit from a lot of people,
Right.
and until you actually have enough. My whole thing is I don't have enough, financial. Actually, I shouldn't say that. You can always go to a financial advisor to get advice. It depends on how much money you're actually trying to invest is what type of advisor you actually need.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, is that we're all over the age of 50
Yes.
and beyond. And so when I hear these 30-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 40-year-olds saying that they have a financial advisor, I mean, even
Amazing.
back even back when I was my husband and I were stationed in Spain, both of us were in the military, and you were in the military as well as your spouse. We had Fidelity also. So sometimes it's like, why do we let it go? Because sometimes in the
Because we would do
beginning,
pay, because we know we have bills and we decided to use what our investment, which we should have kept because we
right,
weren't taught better,
right.
to keep it going and figure out another way.
Because we have a little bit of a hard time. You
Yeah.
hit a little bit of a rough patch,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you start selling off stuff and jumping out
Yeah.
of stuff, and you
Yeah.
just wait it out, wade in the
hmm
water, just wade
And
it
that's what
out.
they say in stock, in the stocks and bonds and stuff like that. Wait, because a lot of times we'll put the money in, and we'll see the stock market drop. And I can't get my money. They say that's not the best thing for you. You should actually leave it in, ride the wave, and keep it going.
Be patient.
But
Be
it's
patient.
like be patient. But a lot of times when you're pinching those pennies, it's like the last thing you want to do is watch your dollars go down. If you have that kind of problem, don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to bother you that much. Just keep investing, and it's going to. I believe it's going to pan out. Because I cannot forecast the future.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's spiritually or demonically, I cannot do that. So,
Right,
so
right.
but long story short, it's in the hopes of actually. But they say that don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're doing high yield, savings, okay, great. The money's going to be there. It's actually going to be there. It's not going to be taken away. Make sure, I can tell you that although when you're doing the market on a lot of these institutions, it'll tell you right there it's not protected by FDIC.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a high yield savings through like a credit union, or whatever, you are covered.
Mm-hmm.
So like anything else, you're not going to a casino and gambling. You're actually, investing your money for the future
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing, when you're doing stocks and stuff like that.
Right, right,
So
right.
that's the difference. Is high yield, your money is protected. It's the 4% or 3%. Until that annuity. Well, should I say annuity? Until that certificate actually is comes to its completion, is expired. It'll tell you, like say you have one out for a year. You can do
Mm-hmm.
6 months. They have 3 months, 6 months, 9, 10, 12, 18. Depends on what you're looking for, right? But it all have
Mm-hmm.
different percentage rates that they'll give you for your
Right,
money.
right, right.
You know,
I'm
so
looking. Go ahead. And I'm just looking
so
back too, and I'm like, you know what? All these years, like you get a little bit of some change, a couple
yeah,
$1,000s or whatever.
right.
Just leaving it like that, and
Mhm.
you just leave it in your savings account because that's what we do as POCs. And you look back, it's like, man, even if it was 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years,
Yeah.
the amount that you could have earned on that money,
Yeah.
but because
Yeah.
what they say scared money makes no money.
Boom, that part. And so it's like at this point, knowing that my financial, I could not retire. Like say I was the normal person that didn't have wasn't in the military, didn't have any kind of other means coming in anywhere, and trying to retire at like 50 plus, that would be ridiculous.
Mhm.
If you see me at Walmart saying "Welcome to Walmart.com," right? And long story short, I mean, I'm not opposed to still doing that right now because I'm not above, making money come in.
But of course,
but
we would choose something other than the companies that roll back to DEI. I'm not trying to be, but we would pick
Roger
something other
that.
than those.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's something out there. I'm just
yeah,
saying what's familiar to everybody.
gotcha, right? Because
you know.
because there's a lot of senior
Although
citizens
they
that
do
work.
have 401k.
But yeah, but they have been known to hire a lot them and like a Burger King and McDonald's. One of them is also on the DEI list. I don't know which one, but anyway, yeah, a lot
It doesn't
of
have to be
people.
Burger King. Because Burger King, I'm not saying that they're broke, but when I drive past a Burger King nowadays, like back in the day, Burger King was the bomb. I drive by now, I'm like, where's the people? What does it tell you about the?
Well, because they also have kiosk things now too.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no, no,
okay,
no.
okay.
You go to the chick. You go to the chick, and the chick has
Uh-huh.
no problem. Okay, kiosk or
Mhm.
not, they have kiosk and they have drive through, and the drive through is always full.
That's the truth.
Okay,
Especially when definitely, or down around the corner. Yeah,
yeah.
and people be sitting
Mm.
there patiently waiting.
And don't come at lunchtime. Do not come at lunchtime. The same.
That's just not wisdom.
Right.
But I can remember look throwing off the thing. My husband and my son and I were all in
Uh-huh.
Florida for the holidays
Yeah.
because we were trying to be like under incognito. And we went into the mall, and they have beautiful big malls. Every place does now. I mean, some of the
Mhm.
ones in these small towns are starting to die down. But all the choices that I had to eat, I'm like, oh, I want to go to Chick. I want to go there because I wanted to have those waffle fries and that sauce, that special, which they say is not.
Yeah.
They say it's not supposed to be that good for you. But girl,
Right.
once a year
Mhm.
or once every whatever, like, okay, bring it on.
Are they? I don't know. Are they on that
Bring
list
it.
too or no?
You know what? You're pretty good at bringing stuff up really fast.
Okay, so.
I had the chat open, but people were being disrespectful in the chat, so I had to shut her down.
Oh no.
And it's not as easy with if I was over on, I can say TikTok over here. If I was over on TikTok, you can block and you can whatever. I don't know how to do that over here. You know what I mean? So I just had to shut it down.
Yeah.
But there's still some people that are popping in and popping out. But
Yeah.
so talking again about finances. So piggy banks, because there's people that come in and go, you just be like an adult, act like you were a child, go buy yourself a piggy bank. She says she fills it up, and once a quarter, she has to crack that one open or whatever. And then she takes all that money out of there
Yeah.
and she puts it into a high yield savings or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? This girl, she's
Mhm.
like, and she happens to be a neuroscientist or whatever. And
I
that's what she's
love
into.
that. I love that's so amazing.
And so
Yeah.
I'm like, but I don't know. She came up in my algorithm on TikTok, and I like click because, like, girl, you giving all the what they say. She's just giving all the tea. She's just clocking it all, whatever.
So I do like the idea for children to be able to use a piggy bank and fill it up and then take it to the bank. But I want every one of my pennies to start counting immediately. When I get that penny, I want to start counting that penny.
I hear you.
You know?
I hear you. Because
So
she's just like, even if I go around my house and I were to gather up all my little change, I'm
yeah.
saying
Mhm.
we have change laying around, you know what I'm saying, all
Oh
over the
yeah.
place. I have to
Well, of
look
course
for
we
it, but
do.
yeah.
Especially when you have like 4
So
kids going through and coming out.
and I guess even if you and I don't think I don't like the idea of buying a really beautiful piggy bank and then crack it and open every, but maybe you can take it apart and take the money out and go, because it doesn't seem as frugal as she was. I'm sure she didn't mean she actually took a hammer and
But you know
cracked it.
what?
But
Some kids have also been rewarded, breaking it
yeah.
open. I mean, I see your point. It's like it's so cute, but it's the
But you're not
significance
going to
of
go
it.
every
It's like
day.
the
You're not
whole.
going to drive all the way to the bank for that one penny. So even if you did it weekly,
Mm,
accumulated all your extra change, your extra $1 bills, and like we have our one uncle in DC, he doesn't spend $5 bills. He saves those for the holidays and he saves them for travel and vacations.
mm-hmm.
And so I think
That's
that's kind of cool.
that's
Kind of
kind of cool.
cool.
Kind
Yeah.
of cool indeed. Okay, so you asked real quickly. I'm going to bounce back up to Chick-fil-A. It says
Mhm.
that they do support diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay,
Just
so
like
we would. So if for some reason we were at seniors as we are approaching and we're getting there, we're there. We wouldn't. That's where I'd work. But
okay,
but
yeah.
but
I
but
didn't
then
go through the
waffle.
401k. I can find out.
Yeah. But then waffle fry, yeah, that stuff starts to pile on. Like you always think, I
Yeah,
love the sub sandwiches in certain places that are
yeah.
very prevalent in New England and all over, and I'm like, you, it's not for free because you gonna leave out of there 10 pounds heavier. You know what I mean? It's not free.
Uh-huh.
No. Even though they give you a discount and they may give you a sandwich or two, but you gonna leave out of there with 15 pounds more or something. You know what I mean? But so
Oh
on our
Lord.
time, so what else did you want to hear? So piggy bank, even if it's
Uh-huh.
just holding on to your money for 1 week and then go into the
Yes.
bank. And then high yield savings, which you said could be anywhere between 3 and 4%. Sometimes you can find these things a little bit higher, right?
Right.
And,
Well, that's right now. That's pretty much the average. Right now I got one that's like 3.8, 3.9, pretty close to 4. I have one that's like 4.01, but I haven't seen
mhm,
anything above, pretty much that. But like
mhm,
I say, depending on how much money you're putting in,
mhm.
just keep watching the banks. If you go online and just check out, punch in, which banks have high yield savings accounts, with a good interest, right? So and then
Okay.
it pops up. But back to Chicken Phil, I was joking around about 401k. They have a 401k plan.
All right. All right.
Yeah, tell my nephew to go to Chick-fil-A. Chicken and I believe it says with the company match. So if you put in X amount of dollars, they will match the dollars. So Chick-fil-A. Now, although they went back, I shouldn't say went back, but they actually have probiotics. They're using probiotics, or they're using like regular chickens and da da da. 401k is the plus, okay, and Super Plus is the match. So I don't know. And diversity. Okay, well, shoot.
Yeah, he already vowed that he doesn't want to work in a food place. He said
Oh,
he
here's
was
one. Here's one for host Greasy. I mean, kind of old. He didn't have to go get that kind of job at least one time in her life.
I
Gotta come home
you
greasy.
know, I mean the nerve of him being all bougie and not wanting to smell like
Baby.
chicken fried rice or Kentucky
Chicken
fried,
fried steak.
take what I'm saying. I'll leave it. Yeah, he like when he was like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, he's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. I'm like, you are so bougie. He said, have you met my mother?
Oh Lord.
I
Yeah.
said, boy, get on out of here. If he wasn't the fourth
Uh-huh.
child, he wasn't so funny, man. And if he wasn't this much taller than me
I
and this much bigger
know.
than me,
Well,
then
here's the fella. Yeah. So that was I think it's a pretty good segment though. All joking aside, you know, money market saving, checking, kissing savings. Let me go over this
yeah.
bad boy. But yeah, it's
So
money market checking, and then it's also the high yield savings. And like I say, please search for the percentage rate that looks good to you.
yeah.
And anything's
But
better
yeah,
than
money
having in a
market
savings account right
checking,
now.
and then
Just
it's
a
also
second.
the high yield savings. And like I say,
Sorry.
please
Will you
search
mute
for the
me?
percentage rate that looks good to you. And anything's better than having in a savings account right now. And then so what I was trying to do was find the young lady again because I think she gave 5 or 10 tips, and so
Yeah.
I was going to try and play her again, not try and bring her up on the screen, but just play it again and then pause it and talk about each point. But
Yeah.
I need to go and
Go all the way back to the beginning because she was before me.
yeah. So let me
Mm-hmm.
see if I can let me exit out some of these windows so that I
Oh
won't hear
Lord.
my voice again.
Oh Lord, we got
I
like
guess
50 windows open, right?
yeah, girl, no, like 40. Every time I go to count, I lose count
Yeah.
because there's so many tiny little boxes
Yeah.
that by the time I get halfway, I lose count. I
You know
can't
how many I
even.
have open? One.
Oh, that
But
means
I have multiple things saved on my desktop. You open my desktop, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of icons. You know?
you know what that means, that your mind is less clogged and less foggy and less whatever than mine, because
Does it
mine
though?
is.
Does it though?
That's what they
Amen.
say.
I'll say amen.
I know that's what they say. All right,
Okay.
so I got out of those. So let's see if I can
Mhm.
find her now and go back to the beginning of hers.
Okay, while
And
you do
I
that,
definitely want to make sure that I give her credit because so she's under her name. She says her name is Nikki or Nikkei, I think it's an African name or Haitian. I don't want to mess it up, but she
Okay.
says she's Nikki, not Nike.
Oh, listen, yes. Wow, that's funny you should say that because I do have a girlfriend who is like so sweet. She and I like send like little well, she sends me. I'll say she sends me all these little wonderful things. Good morning, sunshine, and good morning, da da da. Or may the God bless you, little. I love it. I really love it. You know. But her name also is Nike or Nikki or
Nikki.
Nikkei.
Yeah, Nikkei. Nikkei OJ. Nikkei OJ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see if I can go ahead and find her again. All right.
Okay. While you do that, I want to find my. I'll be right back. After these messages.
All right. All right. So let's see here. Oh.
Because I was in debt. It was in business insights. Here are the 5 ways I implemented.
Okay. All right. So we're getting ready to start with her. And it's like 5 minutes long. So we'll just be patient. And if after each one of her inputs, we'll pause and then talk about it.
Okay.
All right. So she says the way that she starts off, in case you can't hear her, she says, I implemented frugality into my life. And so I guess she was like $100,000 in debt and she paid all that down. All right. So here we go.
Right. Well, it's probably for school too. Go ahead.
Probably. Yeah. Because she's very, yeah.
Frugality into my life because I believe strongly that frugality is freedom. Hi, my name is Nikki, not Nike. And I paid up $120,000 in debt. It was in Business Insider, and here's how I did it. Let's do it. Number 1, I learned how to save slowly before I opened a high yield savings account. I went back to my roots, what my parents taught me, and I got a piggy bank. I still have it till today. I buy one every 3 months, and I try to save it all the way to the top. Any coins I can find every day, I put like $2 or $3 in there, and every 3 months I break it open, and I put that in a high yield savings account. Piggy banks are so great. I know it seems very childish and petulant. However, it's the reason our parents taught us at a very young age to use a piggy bank.
All right. So,
okay.
Any comments on that one? I you know what? I'm sure that you've already started off your grandchildren like that, but I am very excited because now I can make sure that that's going to be a part of one of the gifts I give to my daughter and my son-in-law for the new baby. I love it. Right?
I love it. Yeah, that's amazing.
So
yeah, I
that's
started
number
out that
one.
way with like the first 2. I got to make sure that I carried on to the last 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What number 2?
Number 2, work less, hustle more. This idea that you have to work yourself to death is outdated. Okay, I used to be like that. You want to have things that are making money for you while you're sleeping. If you know me, you know that I sleep a lot, about 14 hours a day, actually. Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
But the few hours that I am awake, I am very productive. You know, when I see someone who's like hardworking, they don't have time to spend with their loved ones because they're working themselves to death, yet somehow you're broke, something is wrong. There's a disconnect there, okay? Figure out a way to make sure that your money is working for you in your sleep. No,
I love that because at first I didn't.
love that.
At first I don't like it when she said work less, hustle more, but she really means work less and hustle while you sleep, basically.
Right.
So have your money working for you while you're sleeping.
It's residual income. So residual income is the ability to be able to sleep peacefully because you got money coming in.
Yes. And you know, with all of the, at one point in my phone, I had to put in how many, and yours probably half of the amount of me, but you'll tell me in a second. The amount of companies that I worked in and through from home, and the residual pay, I learned a lot from them. And I don't discount them at all because that's a part of who I am right now. But I think that we need to keep it going. And I think that residual income, they need to be teaching that in school. And I was a homeschooling mom. And I think I kind of hit it or touched on it a little bit with my children, and they saw me do homeschool, home businesses type of thing. I think that's also very important. But yeah, residual income is so important.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say the same thing. It's like we do need to learn how to be self-reliant, you know, and because we can't guarantee that you're going to get that paycheck, you know, from wherever it is. And you see how the government shut down and people were getting fired and furloughed, whatever the nice word is for furlough, right? People getting furloughed and pink slips and all this other kind of stuff. And some people, you know, and then to have to write an essay as to why you're valuable for your company. I mean, that should have woke everybody up.
What? I missed that. When did that happen? That's what they had to do?
That was back when they did the first shutdown. That was a long period of time. Yeah, they wanted you to write in and explain why you're valuable. what you did that week. What was your productive, your production for that week?
Mhm. Wow.
If it doesn't
Wow.
speak for itself and I have to do that, then that's probably the right job for me.
Right. All right. So number 3, her number 3 point is read financial literacy books. So let's let her talk about it.
Number 3, it's redundant at this point. However, you have to be a voracious reader. 3 books that you have to read and it will change your life within a year. Number 1, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a classic for a reason. It's been around forever, almost 30 years, I think, and it's been number 1 selling book, in finance for that long because, well, it's a brilliant book. Number 2, The Psychology of Money. If you have issues with money and you can't retain money into your house because you're scared of money, and you need to get to the root of why. Money is not bad. People who have money aren't bad people, okay?
Right.
The love of money, the greed of money can be bad.
Ding.
However, money itself is just energy. It's there to help you get through life. So you got to figure out what went wrong in your childhood, why you're so afraid of money. Because if you love money, money will be comfortable around you. It will knock on your front door like, girl, I'm here to give you something. That's how much money will love you. Like I can sleep $0 tomorrow and I'll have money tomorrow because money is comfortable around me. If it's between me and you, it will pick me because I'm very comfortable around money. Number 4, have a no spend day. For me, it's Sundays. And what that means is that no matter how
I like that.
desperate I am and I want to go out so badly and I want to spend money, I don't spend it. Which Sundays are easy to do that because I can make my coffee at home. I can read books. I can make sure that I don't leave my house. Because if I don't leave my house, I can't spend. So have a no spend day every week. Like this day, I would not touch my wallet no matter what.
Love it.
And watch your savings account skyrocket. Because once you're outside, you're spending money. Whenever someone, it's like, oh my God, I'm always broke. It's because you're always outside. When you're inside, you can't spend money.
Yeah.
You literally
that,
cannot.
you can't now because
At home. Don't leave the house that whole day if you don't have discipline enough to not spend money while you're out. Just stay indoors all day. And then you won't have to spend money. So have a no spend day every single week. And last week,
I thought that was good, but the thing is, you can still buy stuff because they invented Amazon and they invented TikTok. But
everywhere you look, there's something online you can buy. So yeah, I mean, like I say, I bought that Thrive Market from online. Maybe probably wasn't a Sunday, but I do like the whole concept of Sunday's supposed to be a day of rest, unless you depending on what your church, it could be Saturday day of rest. But anyway, one day of rest. So I love that. But one other thing I wanted to say about the whole about the not spending money. The only thing you should be spending money on if you're a Christian, and there's no judgment. I'll just say me as a Christian, I'm going to spend money on my tithes and my offering because I am thankful for what God has given me.
And that's not really even spending money. That's investing in your spiritual growth in your church.
That's giving back to the creator that allowed me to create it. That allowed me to have it. Yeah. So that's my gift. That's my give back day. That's
Yeah.
But yeah.
So because you're not really, you're leaving spiritually enriched, but you're not leaving with a product in your hand. So I get what you're saying. And then her last point, number 5, says stop asking for handout, ask for knowledge. So here we go.
Oh yeah.
Stop asking for handouts and ask for knowledge. Now, this sounds a little harsh, but it's the truth. In my household growing up, we had a saying, it's handouts or die. My parents used to say that to us all the time. If you must ask people outside the house for handouts, don't even bother ever coming into this household. You have to have a little bit of pride. Make shame great again. But for me, in lieu of asking for handouts, I will look for people who can teach me things. So I'm not going to call someone and say like, oh my God, can I borrow money? You know how embarrassing it is that your character, people know you're the person who calls to borrow money? That's embarrassing. But if I know that you're successful and you do have money, I would milk you dry of knowledge. Every chance I get, I will buy you lunch or dinner or something. And I would constantly ask questions. Not just power. If I give you 6K today, you'll blow it tomorrow. But if I give you knowledge, you carry with it for the rest of your life. Again, frugality is freedom. No matter how much money you make, if you don't learn how to be frugal, you will always be poor. I will say this again. It doesn't matter what people call you. When I first started saving money, I wanted to pay off my $120,000 debt. I knew that my friends would drop off immediately because I wasn't planning on going out for 3 years. And that's what I did. I didn't go out for 3 years. I didn't go out to eat. I didn't do anything. I just paid off my debt. If you have a mountain credit card debt and you're out partying every night, you're buying 7 Air One coffees a day and smoothies, let's get help. Let's get help. You know, it's totally okay to want to enjoy your life now. However, if you decide to enjoy your life now, you will suffer as an adult. You will suffer as an adult. I plan on just raising a child, living in Costa Rica, somewhere, Hawaii, somewhere, laying on the beach, because in 6 years I will never work again.
Pura vida.
I save every penny. Here the
Girl. So I'll just say that young lady has a wealth of information already, and you can tell she's going to continue to amass her information, her knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, and I do love the fact that she said, "Make shame great again." You don't have to write it down, girl. That's good.
Girl, I wrote that down. I had already written it down. Make shame great again.
That's a nugget.
You know what I mean? If we could just scoop that up, if we can make it something and put it in a jar and just scoop it up and just like,
yeah.
That was good.
But and my whole thing is, it's like there's a lot of people that I really care for in life, that want to spend time with me. But I to be honest, I'd like to spend time with them, but do I want them to make them my primary go-to like friends? I want people that are smarter. I want to be around people that are smarter than me, that can glean every day, glean information that's going to that's benefit my family, whether my spirit, my physical blood family, my church family. That's what I thrive and I desire. Give me people that have some substance. We all have something to bring to the table. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I thirst and I hunger after the knowledge.
Amen. And that's kind of where I am now too, because when I first started on TikTok last year, just before summertime, I would I still go into other different rooms and stuff like that. But if I'm going into your room and we're just hanging out, I want to know, like, feed me some knowledge, like give me something. I don't want to just like hang out and you give
want
me
to die in the abundance of sufficiency.
Yes, as our grandfather said, that the next couple of books, I think I might have put it in one of them, but that has to be a thing all the way through, But when I click on somebody like her, I immediately follow, and I want to know more. Like, what else are you saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, so now this year is all about me reading through the Bible in 1 year. So if you all are listening to this later on, 1 year Bible, and so I don't want to. So what I'm doing is from there is I'm going into the next person's room who's also reading from the Bible, and I'm taking notes, because this year I'm just reading it through, and hopefully next year I can elaborate on the scriptures and dig deeper. But right now I'm just concentrating on reading it, because sometimes you overwhelm yourself, and before you know it, you fall off, and it's March, April.
Right.
So those are the rooms that I kind of want to be in, and it helps to change my algorithm, and then it'll direct me to the people that I want to know. So I try and say, spiritual rooms and financial rooms and growing as far as enhancing who I am and growing myself,
Right.
So those are the rooms. And so a lot of people, they get turned off from social media or whatever, and there's a lot of bad things. I mean, I had to shut the chat off before we were only 10 minutes into the thing, and people were spelling out, whatever. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of good things also. And like you said, if it wasn't for the internet, would you be able to log on to the bank and see that that one specific bank has a good interest rate, or that chick the place has a 401k? I mean, the information is right at our fingertips. And I try and tell my husband and my son, because those are the ones that are in the house with me now.
Right.
When I ask them a question, instead of saying, I don't know, it's like, before you even say, I don't know, you have a whole computer system and a whole world in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't get to mine fast enough. So.
But I will say that I do feel a little bit of a remorse, more like guilt, that I actually pretty much, when I came out of the military, I was like fried, emotionally, mentally, definitely spiritually bankrupt, so long story short, I just was going through a time, right? But but getting to that point, it took me a while to get to where I was. It takes a while for you to get to that point where you don't even, I didn't recognize myself. And so but it also caring for our father in the midst of everything. Keeping in mind I retired. My daughter graduated high school, was going to college. I was helping another daughter, with the grandchildren because she was in the military, and just caring for the father. Just a whole lot of things going on. Moved. So just one of those things was cause someone to gain weight. I gained so much weight with all the stress that I had in my life, and long story
And
short was
daddy was towards the end, because I mean you moved and did all those things, and then there's daddy, which is probably
no,
the last
I
6
got him
windows.
January of 2015. We fought through a blizzard to get here. I'll never forget because I picked him up. I drove with him. So that part, we're not going to agree to disagree, but that was my life, so I know it. Okay. And then not to mention he had quadruple bypass surgery while he was here also, and that was during, close to my retirement time as well. So it was just
But
a whole lot of things.
But he also had that here. He also did that in Europe, because I mean not Europe. He also did that at Yale.
Okay, but he did not have a quadruple bypass surgery there. He had a graft, or what do you call that?
An aneurysm. Yeah, the aneurysm.
Okay, well, he had a quadruple bypass surgery. So like I say, yeah, but that's a lot. That's a lot for just one or two of those things is a lot for a person. But to have multiple things, occurring in 1 year, ain't nothing but God that got me through it. That's all I can say about it. Yeah. So I forgot my train of thought on that one, but yeah. So I've
Coming out of the military.
I just wasted 10 years of my life, like not working. That could have been money I could have been saving for.
But not really, though. You can't be, but you really didn't waste your life, because there's a lot of lessons that you learned in that 10 years.
Oh, you without a doubt. I've learned so much. Yeah.
So it's not wasted. I mean, there was valuable lessons that you learned throughout that same time frame that you can't get back those lessons.
No, yeah, facts. Okay, good point. Thank you for that.
No, because we all go through things, and if we look at it like nothing that God takes us through is a waste. Nothing, because it's all for our good, all for his good and for his glory. Make sure, for one thing, walking through those areas of that felt like a desert, our eyes were definitely focused on him, because nobody could pull us through it but him.
Amen.
So yeah, definitely God is good. But anyway, let's see what time it is here. We did pretty good, 1:54 p.m. And I have to make sure I write a nice note in there with Nikki. I think she goes by Nikki. Make sure that she knows that we used her. Hopefully she's okay with that, because she's putting it out there. And yeah, we rebroadcasted it.
Well, hopefully we'll get her followers, because clearly she knows what she's talking about, and I'm kind of excited about that. It blesses my soul to hear and to know that there are young people out there being financially responsible.
Absolutely.
It's funny, and although I shouldn't say I raised myself, because our parents raised us, but I actually always had that inkling, or that feeling in me to save money. Like from a young kid, 10 years old, I had a checking account, balancing a checkbook. What 10-year-old balances a checkbook? And I'll just say
I don't know if I would. Okay. What I do remember is you taking money and hiding it. You have money hid in every single nook and cranny of your room.
Henceforth, our lives are a little bit different, but in the same household.
I know.
How do you think I have money for your 16th birthday party at the Filipino club? I bought that. I paid that.
You and Denise, because April was there.
No. I let her come because her birthday is 2 days after yours. It's okay. No.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm at a certain age, and so stories get whatever deflected.
It's your story, but it's not your story. It wasn't your money, so it's okay. It's all good.
But anyhow, and anywho, thank you.
Sisters, it's a sister moment, guys. So hey, don't judge us.
Yeah. All the way through the whole thing. I'm glad that we love each other. We do, and you'll see us again next Tuesday, no matter what. So, so again, it is 4 minutes before the hour, and I'm so thankful that you're able to jump on. I know that you're getting ready to take our Father, not the one who's in heaven, but the one who's upstairs. You get ready to take him to his appointment.
Clearly not the same.
and the other thing I was thinking about that too is there a way for the doctor to make sure that his appointments are like quarterly? And do you think that because he's 84. It's like, did he get into like rest a bit? Because it seemed like the appointments and the appointments and the appointments. And I know that he gets to go to the VA hospital. And my husband and I like, sometimes they overschedule us for certain things. And there's sometimes it takes a long time. Because I know that when you needed an X-ray and I needed an X-ray, it took, because we're, in case we haven't said it and you guys are new, she's a veteran, I'm a veteran, our whole family is veteran.
Right.
Anyway, so do you think that the appointments are stretched out enough to where, at 84, he's not like running to the doctor, because what's your take on that?
Well, he's got his situation is different because he's
He
had
has some
so
special,
so
cases
many
going on.
health issues going on, right?
Mhm.
That he's got specialty doctors for each particular thing. So
Mhm.
it kind of, I know it seems like a lot, and it is a lot, but he needs it, and I do have his primary care at least on a schedule, as they say, So we did see her in February, in December, but she's going to see him again. I'm trying to get him back on a regular schedule because before he was a traveling vet where he came to see you for a couple months. Matter of fact, he can still travel, by the way. I don't know, he had travel restrictions when he was actually going through the hip healing of his hip and stuff like that. But it's been years now. It's been over 2 years now. So he is cleared for all that. It's just that we have to be able to meet him at the starting point. Be there with him at the starting point and be there at the end pickup point.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that popped up also. Yeah. So he is cleared. I'm just trying to get it to where we don't have to go every month, so we can do some stuff like you say.
Right. Right.
But it also depends on his blood, and it also whether it's the pressure or whether it's the sugar, and some other things.
That's the thing. So on some of those things, it seems like the military, if they can do some of the things that they're helping you to do, that they can, a nurse can come in and take his blood, or a nurse can come in and check for certain things that, but I'm just asking if that's something that
So
can be considered.
I can ask about that, but
Mhm.
as far as for the phlebotomist to come in and take the blood, but as far as for his appointments, he actually needs hands-on, with the exception of his primary care. After she's already seen him initially, then we can do like a 3-month checkup,
Yeah.
because his A1C needs to be checked on a regular.
Because because like you said, it's getting harder and harder to get him in and out of the cars, and then it makes it harder on you and your back to get him in and out of the cars. So that's what
Right.
I'm just questions that you could ask.
Yeah, I
but
appreciate that. Like I
yeah.
said, he's got an appointment today, and he's got another one on the 9th. I know, and I think he's got 2 on the 9th. One is going to be a video call, and that's going to be his primary, or at least one of his doctors. Is Reno, I think, one of those. Anyway, he's got doctors coming that are going to telecommunication of some kind, so telephone or video or some kind of communication via an outlet, electronic.
Mhm. Mhm.
Electronic. Yeah.
All right.
So
So give him hugs and kisses when you go up there to collect his tray from lunch, and peace and blessings. This was a good information. We'll have to think of what our topic is. If anybody is watching us and you'd like to have a certain topic spoken on by two sisters, we do call ourselves, we didn't even introduce ourselves. We're on our way out, but we call ourselves the Connecticut Housewives.
and Housewives of Connecticut.
And I'm Nubia.
Ajua.
And we talk about different subjects. We talk about, like we said today, finances, elderly care, baking, gardening, parenting, grandparent. She's grandparent, and okay, yeah. Oh, sister locks too. I just posted something really. I saw a really cute video on TikTok, and so I decided to post a really cute one. I followed her example, and I posted one. But just before I go, just sing a song or talk really loud. I got to show you what I made for dessert yesterday. With the last of my bananas. Okay,
sing a song or those are new. Those little shelving rack thingamabobs you have there. I think it's for plants. I'm gonna guess, and you probably have it inside to keep it warm. So I can't wait for you to tell me about that before we go, because I've never seen those. So
what?
Yeah, pretty. Those white things are they those shelving?
Those came from my daughter's house when they moved. And I needed someplace to hang more clothes. Like I need. Look at this, girl. Don't
see this banana pudding.
I've always wanted to make. I've always wanted to make banana pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanilla wafer, whatever.
But it's banana
And girl,
pudding.
it took me all day just to find this little container thing. And this is probably now in the 20 years that I lived in this house, I
Yeah.
probably used this thing maybe
3
I'm gonna
times.
say 5 times.
Woo.
Maybe 3 to 5 times. I looked in the attic, I looked in the basement.
Uh-huh.
I went back to the attic, went back to the basement. And finally, I went to go and the something that I do very rarely is wash clothes and dry them because my husband has taken over. Don't tell all the masculine men out there, but my husband does my clothes. And I went to go and look at something or take some boxes and put them down the basement. And I
Mhm.
walked out slowly, and I just happened to the Lord, like the Holy Spirit said, look down, and right outside the door from the laundry room, um, there they were. I'm like, what are you
Mm.
doing down there? So anyway,
I
and
can't.
so it tastes really good. I'm about to have me some, because it has the bread, it has all the stuff that you need as far as bananas. It's very nutritious. I should have had it for breakfast.
Yeah.
But the bananas were so overly ripe that they kind of tasted like a wine or a brandy or some kind of alcohol. And I googled it. If you Google fermented banana, or so as they start to ferment, they start to
Yeah.
taste like alcohol.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, and then they also named a brand that uses banana to make their wine or their brandy or their whatever it is. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you guys
Mhm.
for being with us today. And anything else you want to say in closing? Thank you for being our financial guru today and for sharing.
I'll be a financial room. And you're very welcome, yeah. But like I say, if you don't do anything else, look into the high yield, savings accounts. So important. It's a safe way to have your money grow. Boom. I love it.
Yep.
So, last thing. I went and got 2026 and one has 2027 calendar in it. So I'm ready to start writing down my stuff again. So it's like the second brain having that planner.
So my husband did buy me a planner, and I wasn't really. I have to. I wasn't very happy because I'm used to buying like a $20, $30, $40 beautiful calendar
Right.
design or calendar, blah, blah. And he got
That's
that
gonna be
calendar
on your book for 1 year.
he got that calendar for me before, like in the beginning of December, and I was like, I'll hold on to it, but I'll wait until I find the one I want. Girl.
That is so ungrateful.
No, it's not that I'm ungrateful. I just wanted a couple more other, a couple of other things that I like to see in
Yeah.
the thinger, and it was, but girl, I'm so
Girl, I
glad that he
still have
brought it
to
to
peel
me.
some of those stickers off of my other fancy dancy planner that I bought because I didn't use all the stickers. So I'm
Well,
thinking, you know what?
I
Go ahead.
carry, the stickers can carry over to the next thing,
Yeah.
but no, it's not that I'm not ungrateful. I just knew what I wanted, and then when you get to a certain age, sometimes you just know what you want. But I do appreciate the fact that he went out and got it for me, girl. Like I needed another bag.
Please, why? What?
This is why. First of all, because offer me a freebie. Just say you get a freebie.
I
Do I
can't with
like
you.
baseball? Do I like baseball? No.
No,
Is
no,
the grandchild that's coming? Is it a boy? No.
no, no.
No. But this is the cutest little thing. Like when I travel,
Mhm.
honey, there you go. This right here also can slide. Honey, it's just cute. You can't tell me. I mean, and then you got to like lift up or pull down to lift up, pull down to lift up.
Can you please just tell me you at least went to like a thrift store to find it?
The first, it did start with a T and then another T. And it was supposed to be $100, but it was less than that. It was like less than 20 or something like that. Less than 30.
Okay, that's fair.
That's really
Is
cute.
it real leather?
Girl, I don't know. And you know what? Nowadays, I don't even care because all I know is that it's not black because as you can tell, black is like my color
Yeah.
nowadays.
No,
Yours
no.
obviously, right? Yeah. So anyhow, thank you guys for coming and joining with us. We are 6 minutes over the time, and I'll let her go. She has to take our dad to an appointment. So thank you guys for joining us. Leave a comment if you'd like to see us talk about something else. This means I love you. We have an uncle that taught us all these sign language things when we were
Yes.
younger.
I got to write. This is a new one. He says I with that, and then an L right there. L O
And what does that
V
mean?
right here, and then E. It means love. You know our uncle.
Okay. So he just went from this. He
Yeah.
just makes his own language.
He does.
Okay. He makes up his own language. I mean, he's
so cool,
internationally
even to this day.
he's international. All right.
Uh,
All right. So we love you guys. And so we have to say peace,
Peace,
love,
with the heart. It was by half of the heart. Oh, the love.
and blessings. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We'll chat with you soon. Thank you for joining us here over on the YouTube, and comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, share it out. And then join us again next week, Tuesday, Eastern Time, 1:00. And you are Central?
I am
Right?
Central. Yes.
Central Time, 12:00. So thank you guys. Peace and blessings. Check us out over on TikTok. I'm over there. I'm NubianQueen TV, and the channels have interlinked. Join me 7:00 in the morning, a.m. Eastern Time on TikTok, and we are reading through the Bible in 1 year. That's all I have for now. Ciao
All
for
right.
now.
Toodles.
All right. Now let's see if I can figure out how to get out of here, because I haven't used this in a long, long time. All
I
right.
have
Peace
nice
and
little
blessings, guys. Bye, guys.